Hello, I'm Gus Downing, publisher and editor of the D&D Daily, and this is the LP News Network. Hello, I'm Gus Downing, and today we're in Chicago at the Sears Holdings corporate office, where the 30th Annual International Organization of Black Security Executives is holding their annual conference. With me today is Suni Shamapande, the president of the IOBSE and divisional vice president of Sears full-line stores. Next to him, we have Jansen Graves, an asset protection manager with Walmart and a former student that went through this program in 2009. And next to Jansen, we have Isaac Brown from the University of Arkansas and an asset protection young executive looking to get in the industry. And interestingly enough, he worked last year in an internship program here at Sears. So with that, Isaac, you were here last year at the 2011 conference.
Correct.
And could you tell us a little bit about that conference, your experience, what you learned, and how was it for you?
Well, the last year's conference of IOBSE, it was a great experience. I met a lot of people. We had several workshops, and they talked about building your personal brand, leadership, communication was very key. And one concept that stood out the most to me was the concept of networking. Mm-hmm. And networking was very big, and I've been able to embrace that concept and utilize it fully.
Mm-hmm. So you came to last year's conference. Correct. How did you learn about it? How did you find out about the IOBSE and what it was all about?
Well, actually through my university's Office of Career Service, the University of Arkansas at Pine Bluff, we have an Office of Career Services where students go and register with this office, and whenever different conferences come about, different internship opportunities, job postings, organizations get in touch with our Career Center and find students who are qualified based on GPA or involvement, and they kind of keep a database of our information. So one of my career advisors, she introduced the idea to me to attend the conference, IOBSE. I had never heard anything about it, and I attended, and it worked out. Yeah. It was a great experience.
So you are a criminal justice major?
Yes, sir.
And when are you graduating?
May 12th.
This May 12th?
Yes, at 3 p.m.
So you're watching the clock?
I'm watching the clock. I don't have a watch on, but I'm watching.
But I understand that last summer you were an intern at Sears in the loss prevention department.
Yes.
Can you tell us a little bit about that internship program that you participated in?
Yes, I did. Yes, I interned with Sears in loss prevention management, and it was in North Little Rock, Arkansas. And and that's close to home. I live in Pine Bluff, Arkansas, so North Little Rock is probably about 35 minutes away from where I live, so I commuted, and I was able to work under Mr. Jimmy Lyons, and learned about shrink action strategy plans. I watched closed circuit television, monitored. I did rotations in the various departments within the store. Built a relationship with the store manager, got to interact with customers, and really learned the culture of Sears, the language that's different from different organizations. And I really was able, I had a pamphlet, a book that was so thick, and I was going through my onboarding, and it was a great experience. I learned a lot, got some hands-on experience, and it was a great opportunity.
That's fantastic. So what do you want to do when you graduate?
Well, I'm in the process of looking into law school, and I'm also looking into loss prevention field. So I'm kind of keeping my avenues open, because so often we're taught, you focus on a goal and be tunnel vision, but I'm kind of an open mind, and I want to kind of do so many different things. And,
sure.
You mentioned broadcasting before we start rolling. I may get into that.
Well, you'd probably be very good at it. So what was the objective of bringing you back this year?
Well, to give me an opportunity to work in this field of loss prevention, and like I said, we don't know much about this field at my university, and to be able to come to these conferences and meet so many people who have a plethora of knowledge in the field, and I can take that information back to my campus, and if we can get some classes taught about loss prevention, get it in the curriculum, get the instructors informed about the field, I think it'll open up a gateway to a lot of students who may have a passion for going into a different sector, and apply their majors as criminal justice into this part of the major.
Well, I'd probably add to that the critical nature of having alumni, students that have come to a previous conference, coming to the next conference, having them kind of mentor the new group of freshmen, if you will, coming into the conference is valuable for us. And Isaac and both Jansen do a great job of that. So.
Right, and Jansen, I believe you came in 2009 was the first time.
Correct, absolutely.
Tell us about that experience for you, the first year you came.
The first year for me, it was kind of, I guess you can say, unique for me because I had actually already graduated when I first heard about the seminar. Just like IOBSE, we came from the same school, the same undergrad school, University of Arkansas, Pine Bluff. And the lady, the director of the career service, she called me and asked did I want to partake in the seminar. So I said, yeah. I could have easily said no, and I may not have been sitting here today talking to you, but I took the opportunity as as something I can go ahead and do and try to see what it's about, learn more about the seminar and the actual organization itself. I went. I got offered the opportunity to go to Orlando, where I attended my first IOBSE conference, and it went from there. I established a lot of different connections, and here I am today.
Now, were you a criminal justice major as well?
I actually was not. I'm actually an industrial technology major.
Okay.
Yeah, so different backgrounds.
What brought you into this?
Well, I was, like I said, I was unemployed at the time. I had just graduated in December, and I was, like most college students, trying to figure out what they're going to do next. I was in the process of I was applying for jobs, and like I said, I got a phone call, and I went ahead and took it, and just to see what what kind of opportunity it may present.
So how do you like it so far?
So far, so good. I can't complain.
And you're an asset protection manager at a Walmart.
Right.
In Dallas, Texas.
In Dallas, Texas now, multi-store. I have 3 stores in Dallas, Texas now. I actually started off in Florida at a supercenter. In January, just recently in January, I got transferred back to Dallas, Texas, and now I have 3 neighborhood market stores with Walmart.
That's fantastic.
Absolutely.
And this is your second IOBSE?
This is actually my third. I came back last year, and I had the privilege to be the student keynote speaker. Now I'm back again my 3rd time, and I plan on keep on coming back as many times as they'll have me.
That's fantastic.
Absolutely.
So, Suni, I understand, according to what I heard earlier, that since 2000, with Keith White's leadership and now your leadership, that you've had over 110 students go through your student program.
Actually, Gus, we've had 110 students go through the program that have ended up with employments post-program. We average about 40, 50 students a year, so you can imagine what that is since 2000. But on average, we have a good percentage, somewhere in the area of 20%, actually end up in employment post the program. There's another percentage of the students that end up going on to be grad students and maybe don't go in right away, and over the years end up migrating into this industry or other industries. So, but it's about 110 total since 2000.
That's a lot of executives to have an impact with and to basically orchestrate into the asset protection industry.
Absolutely. 2 great examples here with these 2 gentlemen. It's a great opportunity for us to engage young people. It's a great opportunity for us to educate young people as to what the loss prevention industry is. We actually spend a lot of time on loss prevention. We also spend a lot of time on securities industries in general. And then we use this as an opportunity to kind of indoctrinate them into the industry.
How many universities and colleges do you interact with? Are you connected with?
We probably have a pipeline of roughly 5 or 6 universities that we use consistently, and then we kind of rotate through any opportunities. A lot of it is developed through student connections on the university or student advisors. Student advisors are critical for us. University of Arkansas at Pine Bluff, it's a great example. That's where we kind of connected. Isaac gave that example earlier, and I think it's a great example of how a student advisor connects us with a student, and inevitably that results in us being able to bring them up to the IOBSE conference.
What is the evaluation process? I mean, how do you determine who gets to come forward and use the scholarship program to come to the annual meeting?
So the first filter is the student themselves. We announce that we're going to be on the campus. We let the student advisors be aware of that, and we have it posted somewhere at the university. So therefore, the students that actually come to that first seminar are students that choose to come. So they choose to be interested in this industry. The next part of that is then educating them a little bit about what we do and how we do it, what the industry is about. And then we go through a series of applications and filter, including GPA average, including experience. We interview all of these students. They may go to the several interviews. At the end of that process, we identify the best of the best. So by the time the student has been identified to participate in the conference, we've identified them as being some of the best in the industry.
That's fantastic. Now, then, taking your number of 40 per year, if we look at that, take that as an average, I mean, we're talking about 480 students since the year 2000.
Absolutely.
Now, are you tracking those 480 individuals? Is there any kind of method there to be able to?
We do have a tracking mechanism. So there are a couple of dynamics to that, though. That's for 40 to 50 students. Some of them are return students. So it's not 480 new students necessarily through the process. On average, we probably have 60 to 70% of our students are new in the pipeline, and 30 to 40% are roughly alumni. So that alumni group is what we utilize, these two gentlemen being great examples, to kind of educate the new crop or the new,
And to help recruit others around it.
absolutely.
Yeah.
But yes, we keep track of them. Many of them stay connected with us. I have students that will email me and say, hey, I just graduated from UBSE University, I'm in grad school now, or they'll email us and let us know about an opportunity they just got presented for a job. They stay connected through various channels. But as you can imagine, there are always those students, sometimes we lose connection through life experiences, or something happens in their life where they move on, and maybe they're not in our industry anymore.
But even with those numbers, we're talking 250 to 300 executives over the last 12 years that the IOBSE has been able to have a positive impact on, really help them with their careers, and kind of just help that individual, which in turn helps the retailers.
Correct. Now, to be fair, IOBSE is a critical player in that. But in order to achieve all of this, we need to do this through sponsorships and donations. We're a non-for-profit organization. So I will tell you that we are engaged in partnerships with retailers and vendors who invest heavily in us and what we accomplish. So, for example, last year we were at the Walmart campus and they scheduled a conference. This year we're doing it at the Sears headquarters. Target has been a big sponsor of the organization. Gap Inc. is engaged. Ross Stores is engaged. And I can go on and on with a list of vendors and organizations that sponsor us. ADT is an example of a vendor that's consistently stood in there and sponsored us and helped us. And obviously your organization is a great sponsor and advocate for what we do. So, and I can go on and on, LP Foundation, et cetera. So all of these organizations partner with us. They're our peer group to help us develop young talent, such as the two gentlemen that are sitting next to me right now.
And I would imagine, just to get a little detail, it's probably what, $3,000 to $4,000 to $5,000 per student?
On average, yeah. Depending on where we are, I mean, depending on what city we end up in, it can get pretty. We sponsor all of their airfare. They pay nothing, so no airfare. They pay no hotel expenses. They don't pay for when they arrive here. They don't pay for any food or meals. All of that's covered by the organization when they're at these conferences.
That's fantastic.
Yeah.
So Isaac, question for you. What's the number one takeaway for you?
The number one takeaway from this conference,
For you?
it would have to be building these relationships.
Building relationships.
Building relationships, as Mr. Keith White mentioned earlier today. He said, building some of these relationships, you'll be surprised that some of them will last a lifetime.
Yeah, absolutely.
So that's something that I'm definitely going to take away, and I'm going to apply it, and I'm going to make the best use of it.
Now, good luck with your graduation in a month.
Thank you so much.
Jansen, what's your number one takeaway?
I would have to say the same as Isaac. I mean, the relationship that you build here, like Keith White said earlier, they do last a lifetime. And I can actually give a testimony as far as the student that I came in with. We still are actually in connection to this day. Good. You know, a lot of those students are in the industry. Some of them are here today with me at the conference, but others couldn't make it. But we are still connected, and also with some of the executives here. I mean, the knowledge and the everything, the information that they give you is truly genuine, and it can go a long way if you just actually take the time and build those relationships, and it'll build a bridge to where you want to go in the future.
So you're an asset protection manager.
Absolutely.
What's your goal to become a district asset protection manager?
I want to be able to master where I'm at right now, get all the knowledge I can from my MAPMs, all the people that are mentoring me, Mike Rock, who he actually came down, he pretty much introduced me to Walmart. I mean, I got introduced to IOBSE, but he's the one who pretty much recruited me for Walmart. He came down to the store every now and then, and he actually checks in on me. So right now I want to master what I can in my store, in my position right now, and I want to see where it take me, ride it out and see how far I can go.
There you go. Suni, what's the direction of the IOBSE? What's the future of the organization with you as the president?
I think it's to continue to expand our concept. One of the things we talk about all the time is anyone can be a member of IOBSE, and any student can be provided an opportunity to do this. We're very open-minded about that. And so we want to continue to expand that so that we can include everybody in that process. So that's an important part of what we believe in. It's an important part of what we do. We want to continue to mentor young people. As you've heard here, we want to continue to engage them from an education standpoint, and we want to enhance their networks. We want to ensure that we grow their networks. And also for the practitioners, those are actually in the industry, we want to help them go from whether they're in mid-level management to senior level management. And if they're in senior level managers, how do they end up in the C-suite? How do they get that opportunity? How do they persevere through all of that? So that's kind of that's always been our mission. It's consistent with our founders, and it's going to continue to be our mission as long as we're around. And we're lucky to have made it past 30 years, and I hope we have 30 more.
Yeah, so do I. And congratulations on the 30 years.
Well, I appreciate that. One day these gentlemen or others or some of the ladies we have in the organization will be running it one day. So.
Well, and I'll tell you, I'm impressed. The last 2 days have been impressive. I mean, the motivational speaker last night was fantastic. And all of you young people are just absolutely incredibly great. I mean, you were engaged and passionate and just sharp as a tack. And all of you are just into what you're doing, and it's great to see.
Well, thanks.
So,
Appreciate that.
Thanks,
so
Gus.
you're welcome, Suni. Well, that's it, folks, for this episode of the LP News Network. I'd like to thank WG Security Products for sponsoring our attendance here. And on behalf of the IOBSE, I'd like to thank everyone for watching. And remember one thing, the next time you're in the stores, it's all about the relationships you're building. Thanks.